Hi guys, it's Chris with City Girl Homestead. Thankful Thursday today. So every once in a while I get like a word and I just go from there and hopefully it works out. If not, it doesn't. So um the word that I got was worth. Like WORTH. And I picked out a couple Bible verses that I feel goes great with it. The first one is Psalms 139, 13 through 15. For you formed my inward parts. You knitted me together in my mother's womb. I praise you, and I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works. My soul knows it very well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was being made in secret, intricately woven in the depths of the earth. I love that. Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope. So let's go into prayer. We're going to do something, and then we're going to talk about that. Heavenly Father, as we go into these holiday seasons, we often are able to spend time with friends and family and go to church services and do all those things. Know that every day we strive to be closer to you. Are we worthy of that? Probably not. But you love us flawed and all. Every single thing that we do, whether it's good or bad. You're a Father, and you will forgive us, and you will love us, just as we love you. Sometimes we wander off the beaten path, but we come right back. It may take a minute, but we come back. Because we know that your way is the best way, and that we will follow you until the day we die. I ask that you wrap your arms around everyone. Please let everyone know that they're loved during these holiday seasons, and that they're needed and wanted and desired, and that we want them to be here. Let them be surrounded by friends and family, and even if it's just friends from YouTube. And if we have to do, video chats to do our holidays, I think that's awesome. I ask that you wrap your arms around the people that need help financially, mentally, physically, emotionally. Please help them through it. We ask all these things in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. So, back to making Christmas in a jar. Let's put this together and then we're going to chat. So, today I am making Christmas cookies. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to do 1.5 cups of flour. These are going to be yummy. I just know it. And my grandkids are going to love them. You know, it doesn't take much to make a kid happy. Cookies will generally do that. Now, they didn't have any fancy ones for this one either, so what I did is just typed them up, and then I printed them out. And then I attached them to the jar. And for these ones, all you need is half a cup of butter softened, an egg, and a teaspoon of vanilla. So not too hard to throw them together, which is a good thing. I don't know about you guys, but especially during the holidays and you're already doing so much cooking and everything else, the last thing I want to do is something with a bunch of ingredients. I know that sounds weird, but simple is good. So I got to thinking, like, why the worth? Like, why would that, pop up for me to talk about? I think this time of year, we're all, like, people are going to church and they're, talking to pastors, and my stove is completely cool, so no worries. We need a 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda. So we'll go through first and put the quarter in there. And I think, you know, sometimes it's not just because, you know, it's the holidays. I think that the same thing that the rest of us think. Like, am I worthy for God? You know, because I'm certainly far from perfect. We need a half teaspoon of salt. And look, I filled my salt. We're far from it. You know, like I say, I fall short of the glory of God every single day. I mean, every day. And it's like, we know we're better than that, and we know we can do better than that, but then we slip up again. So are we worthy? I think the answer is yes. Well, my answer is really no, but I think that we're worthy in a way that He's allowed us to be worthy. How is that? Now we need a half a cup of brown sugar. I don't think we'll ever be worthy. I really don't. Even the best of Christians that we all know, they fall short too. Your pastors and priests and all those people, they fall short too. You know, we're held at such a high standard that sometimes, you know, like when we're in school and whatever, and you know, you've got all these requirements that we need to do, and we achieve them mostly. Sometimes, you know, instead of an A, we get a B or a C or whatever, you know what I mean? But does that mean that we're not worthy to go to college or to get a better job or whatever? No, it just means that we have parts of us that falter and may not be perfect, but it's not that we can't get there. Does that make sense? I think that God would like us to be perfect, but I think He loved us so much that even with His expectations of perfection, He knew we could never achieve it. But we'd keep striving because we loved Him and we want to achieve what He wants for us. So we keep working at it. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? We just keep working at it. All right, now we need a 1/4 cup of sugar. Like, if you mess up today, does that mean you stop trying? No. You know, if you did poorly on something, don't you keep trying to get better? You know, I mean, how often do we just write ourselves off as like, okay, I'm never going to get this. It's not perfect. It's never going to happen. If it's something that we really, really want, we will continue to strive to do better. I truly believe that. And so I think even though we feel as though we're not worthy, He knows we are. So then I got to thinking, self. Myself thinks a lot. We need a half a cup of chocolate chips. I keep thinking, self, maybe we're supposed to think more of not just worthiness of God, but worthiness of everything. Does that make sense? Like, sometimes people, they make you feel like you're not good enough. They make you feel like you're not worthy of their attention or whatever. You don't live up to their expectations. And I think we all fall into that, right? We all fall into trying to live up to what other people want of us and demand of us and think of us and whatever. And, you know, this has been a tough year for me for that. And, you know, I keep trying to think, like, what do I have to do to be good enough? What do I have to do to be worthy of that person's attention or that person's love? And do you know what? I think what's most important is, we're not done yet, but is we have to see our value and our self-worth before we put it out to anybody else. And if we have to fight that hard to be in someone's life or to be worthy of them, maybe we need to turn the switch. Are they truly worthy of us? Just a thought. I mean, I've had to come to a lot of realizations and heartbreaks this year. And, you know, that old saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? So, I guess I don't know what I'm really trying to get to. That one's going to get an extra one. We're going to do 3/4 of a cup of red and green M&Ms. Who doesn't like M&Ms? Come on now. You have to push these down too. I was bummed. I'm like, I have to buy 2 bags of these things just to be able to make that. Crazy. But when I say worthy, like, I think sometimes we doubt our worthiness. We doubt, you know, that we're good enough. Not just for Christ, but for people. And, you know, I've been thinking a lot about that lately. You know, as I brought my kids up, and I brought them up to believe that, you know, nobody's better than you. But then you're not any better than anyone else. You know, and I think that each of us have our own qualities, and each of us have our own ways of living and being who we are. And I think that that's what makes our worthiness. I think that, you know, we can see what's good in us. And we need to see that. There's this much left in the bag. Shame on me. I'm thinking about eating them already. So now we need 3 tops. I think this is the last thing I'm actually going to make up for my kids. I have one other thing I'm going to do, but that's a lot of stuff I've made for them. We're going to put the lids on there. Rings, I mean. Make sure you do those nice and tight because you want that to stay as fresh as you can. You don't want your M&Ms to turn blue or something. So what do you think? Isn't that a pretty jar? Alright. So now we got that done. Let's get back to this. Okay. Forgot what I was going to say, but that's okay. Something will come across. So, I think that instead of, well, not with God, but with everybody else, I think we need to stop with, am I worthy enough? Am I good enough? Or am I enough? Because, okay, for those of you that believe in God, you're going to understand. For those of you that don't, you probably will too. I came up with this as soon as that word came up, worth. God didn't mess up. It doesn't matter if you're the smartest person on the planet or the not so smartest or the prettiest or the ugliest or the skinniest or the heaviest or the, you know, most successful or not successful or whatever. You know, He made perfection. So even if you're not able to function in this world, He made you. He did that. You know? Well, your parents had a lot to do with it too, but you know what I mean. God doesn't mess up. So that means you're perfect. Does it mean you're perfect with flaws? Yeah, we all are. You know, I sat with my niece the other night, and Tom was trying to get their furnace going. And her and I were talking. And as we're talking, you know, we talk about people that, you know, they say they're not bragging, but they are. And, you know, you see these people that feel that they need to be like in the Taj Mahal and whatever. And if you live like that, that's great. More power to you. But you know, as we got talking, I said to her, I'm not going to let my worth be determined by somebody else anymore. And I am, in fact, the richest woman in the world. She looked at me, and I said, I have a house. I have a car. I have my husband. I have my children, my daughter-in-laws, my grandchildren. And I reached over and touched her, and I said, and my beautiful niece. I don't have the best of health, and I'm certainly not rich, money-wise. But I am the richest woman in the world. There's so many of those things, and I have God too, by the way. But there's so many people in the world that have far less than me. And am I struggling right now? Yeah, I am. But there's people that wake up today and they couldn't have that piece of raisin toast that I got from the bread store. It was really cheap, by the way, $1.10. But anyway, you know, there's those people that wake up and they're out in the street, which we're going to do this homeless thing. If you guys want to donate, you can. I'll talk more about it in the next week or so. But there's so many things that I'm just the richest. And she reached over and she touched my arm, and she calls me Chrissa. She goes, Aunt Chrissa, you know, she said, you're not rich in the, I don't remember how she said it, but it's the quality, not the quantity. And I looked over at my baby girl there, and I said, you know, you're right. So we're all worthy. We all have self-worth, self-value. We all have something in this world that we were meant to do. You know, you don't have to believe in God to believe that you were put in this earth for a reason. You know, your reason might be like to be a mom or a dad, or, you know, maybe you were meant to be a mail carrier or a salesperson or the President of the United States. You know, it doesn't matter. You could be meant to flip burgers. You know, we all have worth. It doesn't matter if you're the lowest person on the totem pole or the highest one. We all have value and we all have worth. We were wonderfully made. How much better can you get than that? Oh, it's over here. I was like, where is it? It says, I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. So your worth today cannot be based on what some other fool thinks of you. If you don't hit their barometer of, you know, that you're worthy of them, you know what? That's something else her and I were talking about. That, you know, maybe it's them and not you. So I guess what I want you to take from today is, first of all, I love you guys. I really do. You're an amazing community. And I do see you as family, brothers and sisters, grandmas in some cases, you know, but you all have your own special gift to give. And when I say gift, I don't always mean that it's gifts of monetary value. It's gifts of suggestions. It's gifts of well wishes. It's gifts of love. Even if I was so broke and I didn't have a house today and I had to live in my car, I have so many things to be grateful for and so many things to be thankful for. I woke up this morning and I'm breathing. That's a start. I woke up next to a man that I love and that I hope that we can spend so many years together. I tell him sometimes, he got 28 years with his first wife. And I said, we'll probably never hit that. And it makes me really, really sad because I would love to have 28 years with him. But who knows? We could both live another 16 years. That would be great. But we'll have whatever years we have, and we'll make them good. And there's going to be times I'm sick or he's sick, and we got to do these things for each other, and we're thinking, ugh, But I'm worthy of his love, and he's worthy of mine. We're worthy of a healthy, happy relationship. I want you to take from today that not only are you loved by me, but by several people in our community alone. That you have value and worth. And you mean more to people than you realize. And if those people that are being mean or they don't think you live up to their standards, you know what? Maybe there's a reason for that. God puts in people and takes out people every day from our lives. And sometimes we're so heartbroken. Like I used to think that one song, God Bless the Broken Roads, was for this guy I'd been dating for 3 years. I knew in my heart we'd never get married or anything, but, I thought, wow, that song fits him so well. But that song was meant for Tom. Did he take that man out of my life? Yes. You know why? Because he was a good man, don't get me wrong. But he's not worthy, and he wasn't mine. He wasn't for me. Sometimes it's the other person. It's not you. Sometimes the other person doesn't see your value. They can't see past their own glasses. That's very sad. Because after a while, they're going to be very lonely. And you know what? You won't be. You've got God and all the people around you that love you and care about you. The people that see your value and your worth. Now what I'm asking you to do is to see your worth. To see the value that you bring to us and to everyone else. And to all the people that you touch. Because you know what? You think you don't touch that many people. But every day that we leave our house or that we get online or we do whatever, we touch somebody. And how do we want to touch them? Do we want to touch them in bad ways and make them feel bad about themselves? Or do we want to touch them in a way that makes them see their worth and their value? I know it's getting towards Christmas and maybe that's the sappiness. I don't know. But I think today was important. Because with the holidays, even if we don't mean to, there's so many family squabbles and stuff sometimes, and it just gets stupid. But don't ever step down. Don't ever give up or give in. See your worthiness. See your value. You are perfectly made. You're perfect. No matter how you think, I could lose 150 pounds and man, look at all the wrinkles and this and that and whatever. But you know what? I was made by God. He doesn't mess up. So today, take my love with you. Know that you're loved so much. I see you and your value and your worthiness. Please see your own. Look inside your heart. And you may not have money, you may not have anything. But you got this. You've got that heart. And that heart can make you the most successful person in the world. Even if it's not money. So, take that with you today. I love you guys. I truly do. And I feel so blessed every time I can get on this phone and talk to you guys. And hopefully sometimes I actually make sense. And I'm sure there's times I don't. But I love you. Thank you for making my day and my life a better thing. Thank you for helping me to be a better woman and a better person. You guys are amazing. And I want you to know that. And I want you to take it into your heart to see that for yourselves. You guys have the blessed day. Be a blessing. And I do love you guys. Have a great day.